For this video, I will be showing you how to use the FG-100 DVS function generator I bought off of eBay for a very nice price, $37. It has a liquid crystal display, which is very nice for the price. The only two things on the side are the DC power jack on one side, and the other side has an amplitude control potentiometer, and that's to control the output voltage of the waveform, and there's a B and C female connector to output the audio, or well, the waveform signal. All the other controls are on the front. There's the power switch, a mode button, and that changes the waveform. There's a cursor button, and there's a plus and a minus to change the numbers on the cursor. And there's a run stop button. You have to do that. You have to push that before you push the mode button. And there's a DC offset switch, which you may not need very often. And to accompany that, there's a potentiometer control for the DC offset. That's the center of the vertical position on your oscilloscope. And there's also a filter switch, which is the filter switch is to make the sine wave smoother, and you can also apply it to other waves, but it works best on the sine wave. And the waveforms that this thing outputs are sine wave, square wave, triangle wave, and also a sawtooth wave, both ramp up and ramp down. Now I'm going to power it up by pushing the power switch on. Right now it's set for sine wave at 100 kilohertz, or 100,000 cycles per second. You can change from 100,000 to 200,000 by pushing the plus button. Or you can make the first digit a 0 by pushing the minus button, and then you'll be at 0 hertz. You can go to the next position by pushing the cursor button, and that'll go to the next digit to the right side. And then you can go plus and minus on that too. So you could use the plus button and go back to, you could go to 2, so that would be 20,000 hertz. Or you can go back down to 0, and then you can work the third digit. You can adjust the third digit. You can keep going down the line to the next position by pushing the cursor button to each next position until you get to the last position, which is the units, or like from 0 to 10 or 0 to 9. Okay, I now have it set for a sine wave at 2,000 hertz. And if I hit the run stop button, it'll just keep the sine wave there, but the cursor will stop blinking, and you're set for a sine wave output of 2,000 hertz. And you can connect the connector to the B and C connector to go to an oscilloscope. Okay, right now the cursor is blinking, and if I hit the run stop button, it'll stop, and you'll be on the sine wave at 2000 Hertz. In order to change to another waveform, I have to hit the run stop button again, and then hit the mode, and now it's changed to square. So you have to do that each time you want to change the type of waveform. You hit the run stop button, and then you hit the mode button. Each time you change the waveform, you'll have a different output at the B and C connector for the waveform that it's set for. There's a filter switch there. You can turn it on to make a smoother sine wave, or it may work to some degree for other waveforms, but not as well. Right there is the amplitude control button that controls the amplitude of the output voltage. The total frequency range is all the way from 0 to 500 kilohertz, and that's for any waveform. The output waveforms are sine wave, square wave, triangle wave, and sawtooth wave, ramp up and ramp down. The maximum output amplitude is plus or minus 10 volts, and is also plus or minus 10 volts for DC offset maximum. The other end of the power cable goes to a USB connector that can go to any wall charger or a power bank. You can use a male B and C connector to connect to the output, and on the other side of the B and C cable is another male B and C cable that you can connect to directly to an oscilloscope to look at the waveform. And there you have it. That pretty much covers all the controls on this nice little function generator I bought for only $37. It has a nice liquid crystal display to help you set the frequency you want. Okay, for today I'm going to show you the various waveforms put out by the function generator FG-100 DVS that it puts out on an oscilloscope. The first waveform is a 1000 Hertz AC sine waveform. The next waveform is a 1000 Hertz square wave, but all you're seeing is dashes because the vertical lines are not visible. The vertical lines are not visible, but that means the top dashes are the top of the square wave, and the bottom dashes are the bottom of the square wave. The next waveform is a 1000 Hertz triangle waveform, and you can see that it's very pointy looking instead of curvy like the sine wave. The next waveform is the sawtooth wave, and this is the ramp up. The next waveform is a reverse sawtooth wave, and this is ramp down. And there you have it. That's all the waveforms put out by this function generator. Of course, you can raise the frequency. This was only 1000 Hertz because it's easier to see the real waveform.